city in India. He runs a ATC company in New York and also in New Jersey, in fact, and also in Noida around Delhi, in the NCR region of Delhi. Dr. Sinha, आपके माँ पिताजी का आप पे क्या इंस्पिरेशन रहा जो आपको आज भी अपने घर से अपने गांव से इतना जोड़ के रखता है? इतनी व्यस्त ज़िंदगी के बाद भी आप अब समय निकाल पाते हैं। कहते हैं जी अमेरिका गए तो दूर देश चले गए और फिर अपनी ज़िंदगी अपने हम वतन को याद करना भी मुश्किल होता है, क्योंकि भाग दौड़ की ज़िंदगी में ये भी एक बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है, लेकिन आप उसको भी उतनी ही अहमियत दे रहे हैं जितना आप अपने एक पेपर प्रेजेंटेशन में और एक पेटेंट के लिए आप जितनी जद्दोजहद करते हैं उतना ही आप एफर्ट लगाते हैं अपने गांव के इस चैरिटी में भी।
राइट। तो हाँ, आपने ऐसा क्वेश्चन पूछा कि उससे आंख में आंसू भर आते हैं। हमारे पेरेंट्स का बहुत ही अच्छा इंस्पिरेशन रहा है। हमारे पेरेंट्स बहुत ही वेल एजुकेटेड पेरेंट्स हैं। मतलब हमारे पिताजी अनफॉर्चुनेटली 2011 में नहीं रहे, उनको ब्रेन कैंसर की डेडली डिजीज ने खा लिया, लेकिन वो हमारी लाइफ में बहुत अच्छे इंस्पिरेशन रहे। वो इलाहाबाद यूनिवर्सिटी के बहुत ही ब्रिलियंट स्टूडेंट थे और एक अच्छे स्टूडेंट थे जिसको बहुत लोग इनकरेज कर रहे थे कि आप खुद ही विदेश चले जाओ, लेकिन वो सब छोड़ के फिर वो वापस गांव पे गए और वहीं बसे और पूरा जीवन उन्होंने करीब 40 साल गांव में बिताया। और हमने जो बचपन में जो हम लोगों ने देखा कि छोटी छोटी समस्याओं को, गांव की छोटी छोटी समस्याओं में इन्वॉल्व होकर वो जैसे लोगों की मदद कर रहे थे, तो उससे वो अपने में ही एक इंस्टीट्यूशन थे। तो जो फाउंडेशन हमने शुरू की वो उनके इंस्पिरेशन से, और जो हमारी ये अभिलाषा थी कि हम वापस अपनी जन्मभूमि से जुड़ जाएं, उसको लेके शुरू की। और इसमें हमारी माता जी का भी बहुत अच्छा इंस्पिरेशन रहा। वो अपने में एक बहुत अच्छी एंटरप्रेन्योर हैं। उन्होंने गोंडा में एक कॉलेज शुरू किया है, नारी ज्ञान स्तरी, जो सडनली कहीं से भी एक धूल भरी जमीन से लेके अब एक अच्छा डिग्री कॉलेज शुरू हो गया है, जिसको वहाँ पे मानक माना जाता है, स्टैंडर्ड माना जाता है गर्ल्स एजुकेशन के लिए, गर्ल्स हायर एजुकेशन के लिए। तो उनकी वो अपने माता पिता दोनों की लाइफ को देखते हुए और जो हमारी ये इच्छा थी कि हम अपनी जन्मभूमि से जुड़े रहें, उन्हीं उसी को लेके ये फाउंडेशन शुरू की, आर.एन. सिन्हा फाउंडेशन हमने।
Dr. Sinha, ATC lab, which is working in India and also has a head office in USA. What are the kind of cutting edge technology that you are working, if at all you want to describe a little bit?
So this gets into a little bit jargon, so I apologize if not all the audience understand that, but we believe that we have the most cutting edge technology in the area of audio processing and compression. So this allows us to do a number of things: build products for broadcasting, build products for two-way communication. But our core strength is that we believe that we have the most accurate and most detailed model for audio production and audio perception, how human ear perceives the sound. So utilizing that core know-how, we have built this suite of products, some of which I believe are being used in the broadcast that we are seeing today as well. So that's our core strength.
This also gives me an opportunity to say thank you to Dr. Sinha, Dr. Deepen Sinha and his team, who had made this possible, the Tarang online radio that you have been listening worldwide, from California to London to Delhi to Bombay to Calcutta, Madras to Singapore and Sydney and all the cities in between. This is all courtesy Dr. Deepen Sinha and his wonderful team, who has been our technology partner for the Tarang online radio worldwide and Tarang devotional radio. Dr. Sinha, I have no words to say thank you to the wonderful team that you have. But how many channels that you have? I assume that you have developed over 100 radio stations in India. And how has been that journey?
So it has been very interesting. When we started, initially what the technology we were developing, we were mostly deploying it with customers in the US. But around 2011, 2012, we started exploring the local market in India. So it was very interesting. At that time, if you say that this thing is actually made in India, that was almost considered a negative. People had the expectation that something जो विदेशी है, बाहर से आई हुई है, वो चीज़ें better है। तो हमारे जो सेल्स टीम ने एडवाइस किया कि ये बोलो ही ना कि this is made in India product. Although we were beginning to make those products in India. So, but over time, I see a gradual or definite change in mindset, maybe driven by some of the initiatives that our government have now in terms of Make in India, etc. Now people are beginning to look at Indian technology and Indian products in a more positive sense. So now our technology is moving actually much faster than it was a couple of years ago, when we were facing this difficulty that if you say something is produced in India, or if it's a new brand that's perceived as an Indian brand, then that does not get the same value as a foreign brand. Although we are equally a US brand also. But here initially we went with the story that this is a Indian brand, and that was not so palatable back 3-4 years. But now the view is changing and we are moving much faster because of that reason.
But then you already had pioneered in US market,
right,
where you
right.
worked with Sirius Radio,
right.
which is the biggest radio station group
right.
in USA and Canada.
Right.
How has been that experience? How did you break into that strategic market? Because there we are talking about multi-million-dollar business.
Right. So once again, I think it was both a combination of the strength of our technology as well as some people. The satellite radio was more experimental, open to new technology compared to the terrestrial radio. So they were much quicker to adopt some of the things, or they were thinking in a direction that allowed new technology to be deployed quickly. So that was definitely a very, very good experience, and it gave us the confidence to then branch out in international markets such as India at that point.
What is your tie-up with Sirius Radio?
So they are our biggest customers, and they deploy a lot of our technologies, audio processing technology, audio compression technologies, audio processing products, and the whole range. In fact,
and you are saying that these products are coming from your back office, or you call it home office, which is India.
Right, exactly. So when we came back to India, it was interesting that we told people that they came from our back office, so they are in a way, as I was saying, that these are Indian products. But that was considered a no-no. So for a year, we had stopped saying that they are locally manufactured. We would say these are US products deployed already in the US, so hence adopt this. But although they were manufactured here, I mean, you're seeing the irony of this thing. But now that view has changed, now I see that people are more open to.
How tough it is to scale such a big operation to reach such a big market share, because radio in India itself is growing. The FM radio, the satellite radio, the radio, the internet radio has a very big market. What are your future plans in India?
So I think Pranav, what you are doing is a great model. I think of course FM is growing in India. There are a lot of new FM stations are coming up. But where the future is, I believe, is in the web technology, web-based technology. Use the power of web to take any talent, whether it's in a remote village, remote town, to give a worldwide audience. So this is your vision. I salute you for that. I think what you are doing in the Tarang radio operation here is the model of the future. So we see a lot of growth in the web radio market in the coming years. And in fact, with that in view, in April we are organizing a workshop to educate the industry better, that how easy it is for somebody like you to take your talent, take your team, and bring everything to the web and give it a worldwide audience. So that's where the future
Well, viewers, आप ये आवाज़ यदि आप सुन रहे हैं पूरी दुनिया में, तो इसके लिए आपको धन्यवाद देना पड़ेगा श्री दीपेन सिन्हा जी और उनकी टीम ATC लैब को. हमारा तरंग ऑनलाइन रेडियो या हमारा तरंग डिवोशनल रेडियो डॉक्टर दीपेन सिन्हा और उनकी टीम ने इनमें बहुत मेहनत की और उन्होंने ये बनाया. इसलिए नहीं कि ये एक FM रेडियो या एक वेब रेडियो है, बल्कि इसलिए कि we were working with the technology, we were trying to find the right mix of the technology to scale it up and to reach the worldwide audience. आप तरंग ऑनलाइन रेडियो इस वक्त आप अर्ली मॉर्निंग हैं कैलिफोर्निया में, it's almost noon time, going to be a noon time in New York, it's early evening in London, it's going to be closer to past night, almost we are getting closer to late evening in India and past midnight in Australia. If you are listening to this or radio broadcast and television program, this is courtesy the technology that has come from ATC Lab. Dr. Sinha, it is also very important to know that, I mean, we all talk about how do we simplify what is audio. If we used to study in our comic book and in our science book that in World War II, the sound coding was done and the decoding was done, and that is when the Allied forces won the battle.
Right.
That is how important this sound and on the audio coding is all about.
Right. Sound is of course very important part of our life, and it truly changes. Even when you have video, if you have good sound, the subjective test shows that the experience of video improves. So of course, video audio is very important, and the coding technologies and the processing technologies have allowed us to bring high quality audio to every nook and corner of the world.
And I think that is your USP as an individual, and your company's USP when you say that we basically want to bring high audio quality at a very low bit rate. How do you simplify it to the audience who don't understand these jargons?
So you may be like in a remote small town or a small village where your connectivity is either very poor or you're paying a big premium to receive a good data rate. So can you still enjoy the high quality audio and live audio? For example, coming from Tarang Radio, how can they get the benefit of your initiative or similar initiative? That's the challenge for technology companies such as ours. And this is where we live and breathe.
And that has been your PhD thesis also, some part of it.
Right. I mean, in a way, I'm lucky that my work has been kind of a continuation of my PhD thesis. Often that's not the case. You do PhD in one area, then you completely change your area. But I've been lucky that I've been able to continue working in similar technology.